And welcome everybody to another episode of Mac Yak, number 6. We are actually waiting on our guest. He may or may not show up tonight, so we're blaming Greg H on that one there.
Yep.
Hey, what?
Yes, we are.
Yep.
Just some introductions to all the new people here. My name is Greg Thompson. I've been running Apples for a long time. Since iPhone 3GS came out, or actually 3G, but I was running before that as well. We'll go around the room. Jay, you're next.
Hi. Happy New Year to everybody watching. What we're doing, introductions? I haven't done that in a while.
Well, just doing for new people.
For new people, you're right. Well, I've been working with Apple since 1999. Apple products, that is, not Apple. I collect them, I fix them, and I often break them as well.
Oh, they can hear you.
And that qualifies me to be on this stream.
No, you don't break them. You set them on fire. Big difference.
That too. That too.
Yeah.
Let's see. Mike, you're next.
Hi, Mike Stanhope. I've been using a Mac for, 35 years. My first one was a 512. So they just keep me around because they need somebody who knows something about old crap. Oh, yeah, I fix cars for a living.
All right, Greg.
Hey guys, Greg Rutke of and also known as Rutke Mods. Basically, I started everything. First computer I ever used was a Macintosh Plus, which I have one just like it sitting over there, which died recently. But anyway, that was when I was a kid. I really started getting back into Apple products. First iPod I had was in 2004. Then I got an iPhone 3GS in 2009. Started in the jailbreak scene. And then around 2015, well, there's a long story on that. But anyway, I ended up with an iMac G4 and then a MacBook. And then it all steamrolled. And my YouTube channel came back, and hi.
And last but not least, Rocky.
Hi, I'm Rocky Meyer, owner and operator of ICCRP, and I've been servicing, collecting, etc. Apple products since late 90s and all the way till now, and that's basically the gist of it.
All right, guys. Well, we're going to go ahead and start jumping into some of our topics tonight. Let me look at my list.
Well, first I want to know, what did everybody do for Christmas and New Year?
Oh, there we go.
Party? Did you stay home? Did you sleep?
Yeah. Everybody that's in the chat there, let us know what you did or what new Apple stuff that you may have got from Santa this year.
Oh, that sounds like fun.
Yeah.
Me, I didn't get anything new, so
I got a big fat credit card bill.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, Santa was cautious for me this year. He's like, let's keep it cheap.
Basically, the only thing I did was stay at home with my girlfriend, and we hung.
Well, I went to Texas, so that's the reason why we didn't have Mac Yak last week, because I was actually on the road in Texas. Yeah, it's my fault, Jay. But we're back, and we're going to go strong again here. Try to go week to week here and not have any breaks.
James was sleeping, and for New Year's Eve he was working. Yeah, that sucks.
Actually, I was racing New Year's, because actually you were watching me race, Jay.
Oh, yeah, that's the night your bot didn't work, right?
My what? Oh, that's right. Yeah, because they had a problem with they blamed it on one of the systems not working.
They had a very delayed Millennium bug.
It's in the room. In the bedroom.
I was just 19 years behind.
Yeah, better late than never, right?
All right. So, what is this? Show who's Matt Miller? Question for the experts. Got an A1270 or 1297 with integrated discrete graphics adapter. Is there a way to force the discrete adapter referring to article for more info.
Yeah, that would be an answer for Collin, because yes, there is, and he actually made a patcher for it. Man, I wish he was here right now.
Yeah. He could.
I was talking to Matt earlier, and I asked him to join the chat so he could ask it here. But yeah, if Collin doesn't show up, and you don't know the answer either.
Well, I know the answer. It's just I don't. It's somewhere on his website, and you have to do some kind of something. I think in the single user mode to get it to enable, or that might be a manual patch. I don't remember how it works, but yes, there is a way to do it. We'll leave it at that.
All right, I'm looking at a lot of people saying that they got some stuff there. One guy, let's see, well, I am not even going to try to pronounce that name. Ballistsky Media got an SSD for his Mac Pro 3.1.
Nice.
Someone got, X Green Thumb treated himself to some iPhones, 2x 4GS, a 3GS, an i5, an i6. Wow.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Got a lot of stuff there. Garrett Green got he got his parents' new iPads, 9.7 inches.
Okay, Matt just asked if it's worth forcing it or just let the Mac do it on its own. Well, if your dedicated graphics have gone bad, it's not going to force it to go on its own and it's going to end up crashing. You have to force it. But
all right, well, since we're in this kind of topic here, let's go ahead and start talking about what Mac Yak's plans are for 2018 here, what we're planning on doing here. So, Jay, take it away there. You brought this topic up.
Well, we got a message retracted. What does that mean?
That just means he deleted it.
Yeah.
Oh, sweet. The plans for Mac Yak, I don't know. I was going to kind of hope you guys had any ideas. I want to go big, but I don't know exactly what that means yet. Of course, the 32 people challenge.
That is what we're working for. I don't think we've got anywhere near that yet.
Well, we got a group chat going. I think we're up to 15 people.
Is it 15?
Halfway there.
Yeah,
wow.
something like that.
I don't know. I have to check it out later.
15, 20.
Yeah.
Apart from that, I just want to stay consistent. I want to be here every week. Greg has said he will no longer take any vacations to ensure that we can stream.
Not going to happen.
And, if he does go on vacation, he's carrying his iMac with him.
Greg, you're looking at the wrong camera.
Well, I know. I'm looking over at the screen over here because it's over there. That's where you guys are. In fact, I need to start looking at the Wirecast screen. It's pretty live right there. So
yeah.
Well, I wanted to go over some of the highlights that we actually have done so far since this is our 6th episode. First off, we're the first to live stream a group FaceTime call. In other words, we're the first ones that I know of that's actually done it, and we consistently do it every week.
Well, technically I did it first, but we won't go into that.
Yeah, but you had issues.
It worked, though, didn't it?
Huh? Yeah. Well, we were the first to do it, but our group was pretty much the first to try it. And we didn't call it Mac Yak then, but it was on your channel. So, second one is first to have Collin Mistr on camera. That's the first time I've ever seen him live. So I think that was a big plus there. I think a lot of people wonder to know what Collin looks like because all they see is this half the time.
Yeah.
I thought for sure when he said he was going to join, I was like, okay, this is going to be Collin. What was it?
Yeah. It would have been nice if he had been here right now.
Yeah. And the next thing was we had Stevie Richards as a guest star in our episode 5, which is our last episode we just filmed. And he is probably going to be back on some future episodes. We're just got to work him in at a certain time frame and stuff.
Yep.
Hell, he may even pop in tonight. Who knows?
Yeah, that'd be cool.
We'll see.
And the fourth thing is we're up to at least 91 subscribers now. So if you're not a subscriber yet, go ahead, hit that subscribe button and hit that little bell icon. And We will
I don't
be
even
able
do that
to.
on my channel. Come on, Craig.
What's that?
If they're going to subscribe, they're going to subscribe.
Well, yeah, we hope they would.
Yeah.
You better.
Can't see
Find
me.
you
Yeah,
and
you
teach
should
you
be able
if
to
you
see me. I'm
don't.
in that little corner down in the left, all the way down in the left hand or the right hand corner.
You don't even know where the button is.
It's right there.
I do that in my videos. I
It
said,
can point you in
yeah,
the wrong
I'm going
direction.
to put the link up there or down there or in here, and I never end up doing it because I don't know how YouTube works.
I need to show you how to do that sometime, Jay.
You should. And I think that's a pretty good start for a show that's 5 episodes old
Yeah.
Yeah.
the last year. I think that's
Yeah, no
pretty
kidding.
good. So we
Yeah,
set the bar pretty high for ourselves.
Yeah.
So what's next?
And I may actually go back to my iPad again to do this so people can see me actually, but they don't need to see my ugly face. But
Yeah, you
Oh,
should switch. You
then
should
I-
switch now. It's more
no, I don't want to. I don't want to break anything. It's working.
Don't break it. Leave it alone. We're
Well,
good.
That's it. There's that old saying: if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
And
Or
I
like
just
if it's still
realized,
broke, if it's not broke, don't fart with it.
Craig, why are you in the corner of the screen? Why didn't you do the 2 streams like you usually do?
Because I'm trying to save bandwidth. My wife is actually streaming live as well right now. So I'm trying to save some bandwidth here because if I did it with my iPad, I'm also sending out FaceTime information twice, also streaming this another time. So that's 3 streams just coming out of mine right here, plus my wife's. So that'd be 4 streams coming out. Luckily, I
and
have
this is coming from the guy that said last night, I got plenty of bandwidth. I'm not
I
even
still have
worried
plenty of
about it."
bandwidth, but I want to make sure I continue to have plenty of bandwidth.
Right, right.
In other words, he's kissing up to his wife.
No. So,
And I
but
can't
anyways,
blame
that's
him.
our plans for this season. We're going to try to keep it going. We are growing. We want to get way up into subscribers. We want to try to pass Rutk Mods up, in subscribers.
Yeah, at least. Or already past my YouTube channel.
Well, we've been way past mine. Mine, I think, is only at 19.
We're already past my other one, too.
So,
That's mine.
53.
So I think if we add all of our personal accounts together, except for Rutk Mods, we still won't equal what we got for subscribers in Mac Yak already.
You're right. I think I have 6.
Oh, you got more than that, Mike.
And they're all on the screen right now.
True. That's a good sum of yours.
All right, well, let's go into our next topic here. I think we've beat this horse into the
Oh,
ground.
that reminds me.
Oh,
Mike
go ahead.
did something very neat, too, with his iMac.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we will get to that in a second. Oh, hey, actually, do you want to go on that now, or?
Yeah, why not? Let's
All right, let's do that.
As we're
There's
doing
another-
all these landmarks and stuff on YouTube, so
Yeah, let's go ahead, Mike, and talk about what you came across.
Okay. I don't know. A weird iMac. There, I'm done.
No, you ain't getting away with that. Come on.
So anyway, I got this. Me being me, perusing, spending money I don't have, but I've been looking around for an old G5 iMac for, I don't know, a while. I have no idea why, just, I don't know, wanted one. So, looking around, I was on, where did I find it? Facebook? No. Yeah, Facebook Marketplace. That. And I sent a message to the guy. He said, iMac, don't use it, don't know anything about it, $50. I looked at it. I mean, it was white. I didn't even notice it had the eyesight camera. I just knew it was a white model. So I don't know what the hell. $50. If it's an Intel, it'll be useful anyway. If it's a grade 5, then great. So I went and met the guy. He's like, oh yeah, I used to belong to some woman that worked for Apple, yada yada yada. So, okay, whatever. I'm in Pennsylvania, by the way. So that's always a far-fetched story that somebody from Apple would actually go from California to Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
So people try to go from Pennsylvania to California, not vice versa. So the weather here sucks, by the way. And So I bought it. I mean, it was $50, you know. So I looked at the back. I said, okay, it's an Intel because I was looking at the ports and they're lined up along the bottom. So I said, okay, well, it's an Intel, no big deal. So I took it home. There's no spec sticker on the bottom of the machine, so I couldn't tell exactly what it was. But it did say Apple Development Group with an Apple logo and a barcode. So oh, well, maybe it did actually belong to Apple. So, yeah, maybe the guy wasn't blowing smoke up my rear end. So plugged it in. Works beautiful. I mean, it's a great machine. It's fast. I mean, it's awesome. It blows my tower out of the water in terms of performance. And I'm looking at it. This is the first time I ever had an iMac. Well, a G5 iMac like this. I have a lampshade. I have some G3 iMacs, but I've never had one like this. So, and I sent Jay a picture. Said, "What the hell is this?" I said, "I have no idea what it is." I was looking online, couldn't find anything, you know. And he pops back, "Yeah, it's an SD card reader or something like, or CF card reader." I'm like, what?
Well, I even told you it was an SD card or compact flash.
Yeah,
I said compact flash.
Well, everybody said, you know, it looks like a card reader. So we poked and prodded a little deeper, and Jay, Rocky, and I were up till what, 4 o'clock in the morning. We were chasing down board diagrams and schematics and everything else.
That was
and
a lot of fun, man.
It was. We got to do that again. I got to find something else weird so we can do that again.
Find another prototype.
I was the first one to say it was a prototype.
Yeah. So we finally found out it is a prototype machine. It does. I mean, Greg Rutkay figured out it does have a beta firmware in it, although it's probably all but identical to the final. But it is a beta firmware. It does show a couple of strange mannerisms. I can't remember what it was doing the other day that we couldn't quite understand. But anyway, I'm old. I forget things. So
I'm older.
Yeah, no, I'm more senile. What can I say, Greg? But yeah, we're like, oh, tear it apart. So I just got this wild hair at my butt one day. Hey guys, I'm going to tear it apart, and I live streamed it on YouTube.
Yeah, he was the first to tear apart Apple prototype on YouTube, as far as we can find.
If it's still there, I'll link the stream to that. I'll put that as the video of the week or whatever on there.
Yeah, it's still there. I don't take anything down. There's still videos on me getting run over by my stepdad from 2012. By the way, everybody should read and watch and like. That is the funniest crap you'll ever see. By the way,
it looked painful.
Oh, it was. It was not. It was actually. I was laughing.
But at least he doesn't bleed when he does stuff on his.
But yeah, good point there, Greg. Thank you.
He was talking about.
I will warn everybody, if you watch the video, first of all, it is a little on the dry and boring side, but I do drop a couple of F-bombs, so it gets kind of interesting sometimes. But yeah, I ripped it apart. I had to do some repairs to the media reader on it, and at the same time, I also, while I was in there, I also upgraded the hard drive. The hard drive that was in it was not too well sounding, but it worked okay. See, I didn't mute my phone, as always, right, Greg? So, yeah, watch the video if you're interested. It's just a regular iMac. It just has a media card reader in it, and it does work, by the way. I actually have a 1 gig. Where's my mouse? Hey,
it doesn't just work. You played UT on it.
Yes,
Yeah.
It works beautifully, actually. Here it is, and as everyone can see, there is a 1 gig SD card mounted on my desktop right now.
That's awesome.
It does not read the HD cards, unfortunately, but I mean, hey, you can't have everything. And besides, I'm working with 2005 technology.
Have you tried a compact flash on that?
No, I have not found one yet, and I'm not exactly going to just go out and buy one just for the occasion.
I gotta see if I can find one to send with your video card.
I used to have a bunch of them. I used to use compact flash cards all the time. All right, I must have gotten rid of them all. I don't know what I did.
Well, that's because nothing uses them nowadays. I mean,
Oh, actually, I think a lot of stuff uses them nowadays, but in terms of general consumer electronics, no.
Yeah, true.
So,
Yeah, not
but
Apple products.
no, oh my God, no. But yeah, I mean, it's a great machine. It is fast. I mean, it just, oh my God, it blows my tower out of the water. And that's, it uses DDR2 memory. It's got a PCI Express video card, even though it's only 256 or 128 meg, I think. But I mean, yeah, I'm either way. I mean, even if it was a prototype, I'm still quite happy with the machine. So, you know,
Yeah, and we were talking that's a 2005 machine. And it took Apple, I think you said it, Greg, it took Apple 4 more years to introduce SD card slots to any Mac in
Yeah,
the lineup.
I
That's
think it was
crazy.
the late 2009 iMac.
but really, I mean, truthfully, in all honesty, in 2005, the media cards weren't really, you know, digital cameras were digital cameras and MP3 players. I think were probably your biggest users of them
Yeah, and
back then.
the most used was probably CF. My
Back
camera
then, yeah.
even used them. Yeah,
Actually, SD was almost brand new when
yeah,
this thing came
basically.
out.
Well, you
And
had that special media card that they used to have, but that you
the
can't even
XD
find it
card,
anymore, huh?
XD cards.
No, no, no. It was a media stick. It was called like a. It
Oh,
wasn't an
Sony
SD card. It was
Sony's
a.
Sony memory stick.
Yeah, yeah.
Now I still have those because I still have my Sony Mavica cameras.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're totally incompatible with secure digital.
Oh yeah.
So
Hey, Mike, there's a question in the chat here. You might be able to answer since you're the resident old Mac expert. There he goes. Here at a local Craig's is an old Macintosh 8000/250. He couldn't find any information online, but the plastic label clearly says 8000/250. Did it ever exist?
well, there's only two 8000 series Macs. One was the 8500 and the 8600 250. I mean, I'd have to see what the case looks like to actually tell you about. If you have a link to the Craigslist ad, I'd take a look at it for you. If it's a 250, I'm going to say it's probably going to be an 8600 though. But it could be an 8500. I don't know if they ever came out in a 250 though. Uh, but there's no 8000 that I'm aware of, unless there's.
Yeah, they might have been meant the 8000 series, which
Yeah.
the
If you have, if you have a link to the Craigslist ad, pop it in the chat there, and I'll take a look at it for you.
yeah.
And
'Cause
we also have
there's-
a question from, I want to try to pronounce this. Hold on. Belitsky Media. I think I got it. Question for the experts. I don't know if there's any here. Anyone know any news regarding some NVIDIA support on Mojave? And how effective is the change.org petition so far? It's been dead silent on the internet for the past month.
Oh, there's actually been some. I just read a thing on, I think it was Mac Pro users, that NVIDIA is now in talks with Apple, and Apple and them are working together. So hopefully, I'd say by the end of the month, we'll have drivers.
Yeah, end of the month.
Who knows?
There's actually a poll on, I think it's Mac Pro Upgrade Group. There's a poll running.
Yeah, I saw that. It's
So.
well, it's actually a contest. So who's paying out the wins?
Contest?
Yeah, it says it's like a poll slash guessing what month they're going to release the NVIDIA drivers.
You're kidding me. I didn't see that.
Yeah.
I'm thinking it's going to be this month.
I'm not holding my breath anytime soon.
Well, if I'm right, the contract with ATI or the AMD was
Yeah.
finished at the end of the year, right?
And they want
So
driver made. It's already been tested and
yeah, I'm going to say so.
work.
All they have to do is get it approved by Apple to
Yep.
force it out.
So it could
So
be.
far, the majority
Truthfully,
of the votes is for February.
Yeah, by-
September.
Okay, so since we're in that subject right now, we're going to switch over to our next topic here real quick. where is my new iMac Pro or Mac Pro? It's been 3 days into the new year, so I think Jay was asking this. Where is the Mac Pro?
What is it with you and the Mac Pro? Why can't you just use a trash can like everybody else?
Yeah. No, never. Never.
Never.
Well, then quit being cheap and just go buy a 5,1.
Now, I did see.
Like
I'm using a 5,1.
I did see a new video. I haven't watched it yet because it just came out from Telosive Tech, talking about the modular Mac Pro. That it may not be that. I don't know where he's getting his information from, but he usually has a lot of good inside. Well, not inside information, but he compiles a lot of the rumor mill around, and he's usually about 90% accurate most of the time. So I need to go watch that video and see what he's talking about, the new Mac Pro, because it's supposed to be kind of a modular design, I guess.
That's what we speculate.
Well, the thing is, I have no interest in buying one now, or this year, or even before I turn 40, because more than likely I'm not going to be able to afford it.
Well, yeah,
but
none of us
if they
are.
actually release a good Mac Pro, when and if my 5,1 dies, and it can no longer keep up even after all the upgrades, 20 years from now, I'll be able to afford a 2019 Mac Pro, so I have something to keep going. But if it sucks, then after this, I'm going to have to start exploring Hackintosh options. So
yeah.
Well, one thing I was thinking is like, I think the best Mac Pro is going to be a PC. Not an actual PC, but that's what the Mac Pro needs to be. It needs to be a PC.
Yeah.
Well, that's the problem. I think
Mac runs Mac OS.
I don't think Apple's going to go that route because they like to control stuff way too much, and letting you put your own video card in or any other type of non-Apple hardware is something that they just don't believe in anymore.
Yeah, but the problem is that's what the people who are buying Mac Pros want.
I agree.
And I think if you really and Apple probably won't tell you this, but if you look at iMac Pro sales, which by the way start at $10,000, they're probably dismal.
By the way, guys, the X-Screen he posted the images. That's an 8600. It's definitely an 8600.
I'll take your word for it.
Anyway, go on.
Yeah, it's an 8600. Good machine.
I like what someone posted there. Todd goes, Apple Mac Pro 7,1, very late 2019, suggested retail price of $9,999.99.
That's still cheap.
That's probably cheap. That's probably cheap.
That's still cheap.
I'm thinking about 15 grand for one that's maxed out.
Probably more than that.
That's probably going to be the base model. And when you go from 16 to 32 gigs of RAM, you're instantly at 25 grand, and then they take it from there.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm a pretty positive guy, but Apple has not shown me anything lately that makes me feel that I can trust that they're going to take the right approach with this Mac Pro. I hope I'm wrong. I've said it before. I hope I'm wrong. But, yeah, I don't know.
And it will probably have a T2 in it.
Yeah, that means...
oh, yeah.
Stevie is not going to get it. Or he might. He might not be able to resist.
Well, I don't think a lot of people will get it, especially if they tie that T2 into new hardware if you want to add, stuff into it. That could be a killer for a lot of people not wanting to get it.
Well, it might only be integrated into the built-in storage. And if you expand the storage, it won't affect that, but might lock you down to only installing the operating system on the built-in storage.
Well, I mean, if it's anything like the Mac Mini, like it's been reported, you can't, it's like you just said, it's tied to the storage, and you can't put any other operating system on except Mac OS. You can't put anything else, because even Linux won't go on there because it won't boot because of that T2 chip. Now you can boot it off an external drive, but what's the point of having internal storage in it?
Exactly.
Yeah, there's another group or another poll going on the Facebook group Xserve owners. The question was, what Xserve feature would you like to see in the new Mac Pro? It is an Xserve group
Swappable
after all.
drives.
But multiple drives, at least, and one of the popular choices is at least one PCIe slot. I'm like, one? Give me 8.
At least one. Preferably
Exactly.
at least more than one.
Like that Mac that Mike was working on a few weeks ago. I don't know what model it was, but it had like 8 PCI slots, 12 RAM slots. And like, hey, that's a Mac Pro right there.
Mm-hmm.
Mike, which one was it?
95.
That's my 9500s. Yeah, it has 6 PCI slots, 12 RAM slots, a cache slot, no dedicated video on board. It still uses SCSI 2 internally and externally for hard drive, CD-ROM, zip drive, whatever you want to put in. No IDE. So, you know, at the time it was the high-end machine.
I really want the 9600 slot.
The
Yeah.
9600 is really, really nice. The 9500 is a nightmare to work on. The 9600 is a lot nicer.
Yeah, they
But-
carry over the beige, the G3 beige. This design, not the height.
Yes. Trying to find oh, here it is. So the 9500 came out in 1995. It was probably one of the most powerful machines of its time.
Oh, it was.
They don't have a release price, but I'm saying probably somewhere around $2,500 in 1995. So,
Probably more than that.
well, $2,500 in 1995 translates to about $8,000 today.
Yeah, it is probably more
yeah.
than that.
But
Hey, Greg, a quick question for you.
Which one?
Donald in the chat says, my favorite Mac Pro is the 1,1. It can run Windows 10. But can't the 5,1 run Windows 10 or a 3,1?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Mine's running Windows right now as you speak.
say any Intel Mac should be able to run
every
Windows 10
single
easily.
Intel Mac ever made can run Windows 10. Even the 32-bit CPU ones.
Yeah, the problem is it's backwards about a bit. Like, for instance, my iMac 2017 cannot run Windows 7 because it's got the KB Lake processor in it, and Windows 7 will not run on that. So I had to put Windows 10 on my boot camp partition.
Yeah.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, but at least you have DX12 support.
True.
Whoop-de-doo.
And I agree, Brock. Apple is killing itself.
Yeah.
I think, wasn't it you, Greg? You posted a link that Apple is losing $9 billion
Yeah, I did.
on iPhone sales?
Actually, I was listening to the radio today, and since you mentioned that, apparently the stock market took a nosedive today because of that news, that particular news about losing $9 billion in sales because of China. They lost 10% on their stock price today. That's a big loss.
Huge.
Whoa, yeah.
I
Down
haven't even-
15.73 points to $142.19.
Yeah.
I'm afraid to
10%.
log into my E-Trade. I'm
So-
not going to look for a while.
You can see that Apple has a big, influence on the stock market right now because the Dow took a big nosedive because of that news. Even though I don't think they're on the Dow, but they're on the NASDAQ, right? Yeah. But
NASDAQ
still,
is technology stocks.
Yeah, but all of them kind of intertwine, and if one
Right.
big company like Apple goes like that, you know that they're going to take a nosedive the rest of the stock market.
Yeah, $9 billion is not nothing.
No.
Hey, if it makes you feel any better, Jay, I lost $2.30 per share on my IBM stock.
That does make me feel better. You're right.
That's actually even down 2% today. So, yeah, I mean, it's, That is.
Yeah, Todd goes. The company has lost 450 billion in market value since its peak of about 1.1 trillion last year. So that's almost like close to what, 1/3.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not good.
Well, and that goes back to what we were talking about before. Tim Cook, he needs to change stuff. I mean, they can't keep doing the same thing over and over again, expecting the same results.
Yeah. It only works for so long.
Exactly. It says in Germany, Apple stores are not allowed to sell iPhone 8 and 8 Plus. Why is that, X Green Thumb? Yeah, that's why I asked. I was like, why?
Yeah.
I mean,
you can see that Apple knows exactly what we want. Apple isn't stupid. They got, they know what people want.
yeah.
And they know people hate the notch. I mean, you're not going to tout an edge display if you put a freaking notch in it. That's not edge to edge. That's why their marketing had half a globe on the screen, carefully avoiding the notch. And they know they messed up. But is that alone costing them $450 billion? I don't know.
Well, I think the biggest problem right now with Apple, the reason why they're losing so much money, is you look at the new iPhones that came out. They're way more expensive than the iPhones about 2 or 3 generations ago.
Yep.
You know?
I mean, top of the line, for instance, I bought it brand spanking new. It was a 6 Plus. And I bought the literal, the max of that you could get, everything. It was the most expensive at the time. And I spent less than $1,000 on that. It was like $900 and something outright.
Yeah, I know. It's getting ridiculous now. I mean, it used to be that you could get the phone subsidized with the phone plan, blah, blah, blah. It only cost you about, what, $100, $200? And people got used to that. Now, they're getting away from that. Especially the phone companies are getting away from it because they know people are already kind of stuck in that garden, the walled gardens, as they call it. So now they're getting you because, like, for instance, I bought my iPhone 8S, or 8 Plus, rather, for full price. I think it was like about $900 full price. And it's only the 64 gigabyte model. I didn't even go for the 128 because, for one, I don't need that much storage because I use a lot of iCloud stuff anyways. But still, the point is, though, is like those iPhone X's went to 1,000. Now the newer ones are 1,200. So it's like they're pricing themselves out, I think is what they're doing, because it doesn't cost that much to make those phones.
No, I think the problem is people are finally. I think the sheep are finally waking up and realizing that they don't need a new damn iPhone every year because it's costing them a small fortune to keep upgrading. I mean, they buy it because, like everyone said, they're not subsidizing these phones anymore. A lot of carriers are even doing away with having contracts. So, you're still paying for the phone. You're just paying for it every month.
Exactly, yeah.
So instead of paying $200, like when the first iPhone came out, you might pay $200 for it and then you have it. Now you're paying an extra $200 a month to buy this new phone, and I think people are just finally getting smart and realizing that it's not worth it.
Well, do you remember the fiasco Apple went with the first iPhone? When they were charging, I think it was like $600, and then they dropped the price to $400.
Oh, I remember.
Yeah.
And it was like within a month. And people were
all about that.
Oh, people were mad. And they actually gave, I think they gave credits or something like that, $200 credits to people that had
the Apple Store, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, they've done that so many times in the past. Yeah. It's not even funny. I mean, look at the. I mean, and the first time that I remember Apple doing it was when the 20th anniversary Macintosh came out. They were charging $10,000 for that machine when it came out, and then a year later, then they're selling it for $2,000. Oh, people were livid. So,
Didn't they have Macs at one point that came with coupons in the box?
oh yeah, you always, whenever you bought it, the Homeline ones, whenever you bought one, yeah, you get this for free for whatever.
Well, I think one of the other big problems too is the new iPhones aren't coming out with many new features. My iPhone 8 or 8 Plus has pretty much all the same features that the XS has, except for the Face ID. It's got everything that has. So
My
why?
6S has
Yeah.
all the features you really need. You know, it's got a home button.
Exactly. I have a home button and a fingerprint sensor.
My 6S
You have a
Plus
jack,
has
huh?
everything. My 6S Plus has everything that Greg's does. Oh, and it's bigger.
Well, the one thing that yours guys has that mine doesn't have is a headphone jack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Truthfully, I personally wouldn't miss the headphone jack too much.
Oh, I do.
I very rarely use it. But
God,
the problem is the one time, if I didn't have the headphone jack, would be the one time I'd want to use it.
Yep.
Hey, question for you guys. Do you know, Green Thumb was saying because Qualcomm gave Apple a sales ban, that's why they took such a big financial hit. I've seen it mentioned in the news, but I haven't read up on it. Do you know anything about that?
No, I have to go read something up on that.
Yeah.
And James sums it up nicely as well. Let me scroll back up if I can find it. The phones are too expensive. The Mac is not updated in forever. The iPod is completely ignored. And Brock said the sales in China are horrible, and that's what they were betting on. And they were. They went really big on China.
Well, yeah, but if you make it too expensive, the Chinese ain't making that much money. They're working for pennies on the dollar, you know.
Well, and they got about 20 times the amount of companies and phone models to choose from that we do here.
Exactly.
Honestly, if they drop the prices down $200 or $300 across the line, they'd actually make money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, just the price. One of the guys in here posted said $375 it costs to make the XS, and they're charging $1,200. You know, they could basically charge $700 and still make a 100% profit. They're basically doubling their money.
There you go, Green Thumb. He was asking to see the slider in the old iPod.
Show me that slider, yeah. Smelled like apples. I would remember that. What?
Yeah, there was where was it? Beletsky Media said irrelevant question, but I remember when the first iMac in 2008. Is it just me, or did Apple products smell of apples?
I don't think they were baking them with apples, but
no, Apple products just tend to have this unique smell to them that all Apple products tend to smell like when they're brand new in box.
Formaldehyde.
It smells like it smells like it's just a very unique odor of probably very deadly chemicals.
No. Apple is a very green company. They would
exactly.
Yeah, we won't get into that. We go watch episode 5 or 4 for that discussion there. We talked about.
Yeah.
All right, I think we beat this one in. Next topic, Rutk mods.
Yes.
What about Rutk mods?
You went from 1,240 to 3,000 subscribers in 2018. How'd you do that?
I did what now?
You went from 1,240 to 3,000 subscribers in 2018.
Bribery.
Bribery? Gee,
Yeah.
Free computers.
Well, he did give away a computer.
It did help. It did help. I won't deny that.
Ah, see?
But,
I told you, bribery. I'm sure if I did that, I'd probably have 2,000 subscribers too. Everybody, hey, I'm going to give away my AMD FX to the 4,000 subscriber. I'll probably have 5,000 subscribers in 3 weeks.
Actually, if you say you're going to give away your prototype at 10,000, you'll probably be there before the end of the year.
Probably.
You'd be there in a month.
But anyway, I think What?
Sorry. No, somebody said bots. I started laughing.
Well, actually, I lost 14 subscribers when YouTube did their cleanup. So
Only 14
someone
bots.
in there
huh?
wasn't good, apparently.
Those
It might have been
bastards.
bots. Who knows? But anyway, I think what I contribute most of that to is low-end Mac. You know, I became a moderator on there, and you know, it's such a great community that we all communicate and help each other and stuff. And people just got to know me from that. And you guys, all you guys in Mac Yak helped a lot too. You know, you're good friends, and all that combined, people just like watching that stuff. So I think that's where it mostly came from.
I take some responsibility here.
I agree.
Because I think the banner I put on my website, it did really well in the 3
That
months
helped
it was
too.
up.
Yeah.
So once you strike it rich, I'll expect a kickback. A sizable kickback.
You'll definitely begin to kick back.
Yeah, me too. I've
But,
given you enough stuff.
I saw from Low End Mac that you got an iMac GPU upgrade in the works. You still got some stuff to do on your Mac Pro.
Yeah.
What else?
He has more blood to shed.
Yeah,
Oh
that
yeah,
too.
I'll probably slice a few more fingers off.
If you'd like, we can send you. I can send you a machete to make it easier.
Well, and he has a brand new, rework station that he probably hasn't even taken out a box yet, have you?
Well, it's on the box, but I haven't done anything. It's just.
The zip ties are still on, though.
But right here, we're doing a MXN GPU upgrade to my mid 2011 iMac in the next few days. This is a GTX 765 from a Dell Alienware system. Luke Miani gave up on his because I don't know what he did to it. I'm offering to help him fix it. It sounds like he may have fried his logic board, though, the way he's describing things. But
it was taken out by 2 people, so that's four hands that were not grounded. I'm just saying.
yeah. So there's a possibility he fried it. But I'm going to try my best to help him out if he wants to help. But I am going to be able to upgrade mine before he will. And actually, this wasn't. He basically made me end up doing it because I wanted to do this back in around June, but I decided not to because I just didn't want to waste the money on it. And, what are you doing, Jay?
He didn't want us
Anyway.
to see what he's doing. That's what it is.
But anyway, because of Luke Miani's iMac mid-2011 upgrade videos, I decided it's time to actually do it. I got that card real cheap. And then with the Mac Pro series, I still have the CPU upgrade coming up. They're still coming in the mail. And I've got an NVMe adapter coming. I just don't have an NVMe. Don't have the money for that currently. But that will be an upcoming video also. And then we've got a lot of PowerPC stuff coming up too. So there's plenty of content coming. So
Nice. I want to see you get that 20th anniversary Mac for your collection.
me?
Yeah?
Where would I get a TAM? With
Bribe
at least
some more
the GPU
people.
upgrade.
I don't know.
It would be cool, but I don't know. Those things are pretty fragile.
I know, but a 20th anniversary with a G4 Sonnet upgrade and all kinds of ridiculousness inside.
Did
that'd
they
be
make
pretty
G4? I know they made G3. Did they make G4 upgrades?
cool. That's
No,
what
I don't think so. I know that they do have G3 upgrades, and I'm sure that Collin and you guys could probably hack a G4 into it. It wouldn't be very fast, though. The bus speed would be ridiculously slow, but that'd be cool.
Yeah, the
that's a
world's
good,
first TAM running Leopard.
Okay, Brock asks the question here. Can he change his mid-2010 GPU from AMD to NVIDIA?
Yes. Yeah, the late 2009 through the mid 2011 iMacs all have MXM compatible slots that work with Dell slash Alienware GTX 600 and 700 series. As long as it's a Kepler based card, it will work fine. From what I've been told, we're going to find out in my video, but from what I've been told, it works fine. In fact, I'm going to be basing the video off an article I read in June that inspired me. So, yeah.
So any other stuff you got, future plans for Rutk mods, or?
We'll take it as it goes. I mean, there's a lot of stuff in the pipe works. I just got to film it.
I think you should focus on scooping other people, like you're doing with this iMac graphics cards. You should also be the first one to reintroduce magnets into the iMac screens, because Greg Thompson was slacking on that.
He's got that. He can do it.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I just gotta get my practice up and get my skills honed back up before I start doing that.
How many glasses do you think he's going to go through?
Hopefully the big fat 0.
I'm thinking like at least 2.
No. Hey, if I break this one, it's broke. My wife would kill me if I tried to buy parts for this 2012.
Just say it's for the car. You want to know.
All right. Since we're talking about this a little bit, let's get into our next topic here. Collecting Macs. It's not all rainbow-colored logos and wild... What do you say? Eeps?
Wild Eeps.
Oh.
Eep! What's a wild eep?
Yeah, what's a wild eep?
Are you guys freaking serious?
I love the wild eep.
Thank you, Rocky!
I love it. From
Monty Python or
no?
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
I made the banner.
What the hell, Greg?
It's both Gregs, because we're both like...
the oldest guy and the youngest guy have no clue what you're talking about.
It must be a middle thing there, Greg.
Hang on. We're going to educate you people.
Oh, boy.
Yep, there it is. Love it.
Eep.
The wild eep was a system warning sound from System 7.1 to 8.6. They dropped it in System 9. I don't know why, and it pissed me off!
Oh, right. Right. I've heard that error like once.
I knew he would become passionate about this.
I love the wild eep. Oh my god. I have a wild eep on my MacBook. It drives my wife crazy whenever I start typing weird stuff where it doesn't belong. It goes eep, beep, 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 beep.
So, what we want to try to do, I guess, for this channel is we're going to have, I think we're going to start like a new topic weekly where one of us is going to talk about a particular old Mac that we have. We're not going to do it this week. Now, Mike has probably got tons of them, and I know that Greg, we would take 2 years to go through Greg Rutke's cave there.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, during that section, I'm pretty much just going to sit here and look pretty because I don't know anything about pre-2000 Macs. So.
Yeah, but
At
anything...
least you're going to do something you're good at, Jay.
Exactly.
You can talk about your MDD.
Yeah, that's...
It's not pre-2000.
No, it doesn't have to be.
No, it doesn't have to be.
Well, it's got to be old. I don't see the MDD as old.
Well,
like we're talking before my.
But it's a power PC, so anything power PC.
Power PC is old.
Yeah.
Okay.
Obsolete, antiquated.
Well, hell, even some of the Intel stuff is
maybe a little antiquated, obsolete.
Well, we still use
talk
them.
About that later in the video.
Yeah, we still use our power PCs on the Intel or the Power PC Gaming Lounge to play
I was
Unreal.
about to say, if it's fast enough to kick your ass in UT, it's not obsolete, my friend.
I still think that you got an advantage because you got 0 ping versus all of us.
I'll play left-handed next weekend. You'll see.
Yeah, right.
Well, that should be interesting.
I think he needs to drink a whole bottle of Bailey's before he starts playing.
Yeah. No, but the reason I I thought this would be an interesting topic is because a lot of people would like to collect Macs. For example, me, I focus on anything G3 blue and white and newer, because that's when I really got into Mac, 1999, and I don't care about any of the older stuff. But there's a lot of people, especially on eBay, that say, "Oh, here's a G3 blue and white, 450 megahertz," and they list it for $700 because it's old and rare and vintage, and Steve Jobs kissed it when it was being built, and all that nonsense.
Yeah.
So collecting is hard because
You've got to
you
find
might
a
be
good
able to find something, but to find it for a good price and have it locally, so you don't have to have it shipped, or if you do ship it, to have it arrive in one piece. That's a trick. And also, if you are married or you have a girlfriend or you live with a bunch of people, finding the space for your collection without being threatened by divorce or stuff like that, that's another trick.
Love you, dear. I didn't think she's listening.
And
Yeah, I have to.
But yeah, like I got a great deal on this iMac behind me, the iMac G4 right there. I got it for like $64. It came with it came with the keyboard and mouse and speakers and even an iSub and all that stuff for $64, and it was local.
Yeah, but good deals are hard to find. I mean,
it's very hard to find.
Mike had a freaking prototype for a good deal, but that's pretty damn rare.
Well, that's like mine, Greg. I got the same. I got an iMac G4
that was
as well.
A dumb lock.
And that thing, I paid $75 for it. But I also got a broke Mac Mini. I got an Atari 1200 XL, and I got that Performa that Mike wants as well. So to me, that was a damn good deal.
Yeah,
and it works.
How does someone like you, Rucky, how do you deal with collecting? And you got half your house dedicated to your collection.
just in my dining room area.
He doesn't. There's a difference. See, I'm a collector. Greg's a hoarder. Okay.
Hey,
yes. Important distinction. And David in the chat says shipping is the bane of collecting. I totally agree.
I totally agree there too.
Basically, what I go for is something that looks like it might run, that is being sold as is, and lowball offer them. And if they go for it, I buy it, and then when I get it, about 9 times out of 10, it works. That's how I get most of mine.
Yeah. From the other side of the conversation, my wife is in the chat, and she says, as someone that is living with someone that collects Macs, it's really not easy to be next to that. It's a space-consuming hobby, and it's true.
Trust me, I have my own room here that I'm in with all my Macs and stuff, and it's getting cramped in here.
Yeah.
Well, I can tell you for a fact, a very, very dear friend of mine, he's been collecting Macs since they came out back in the 80s. And when we first met, he lived in Center City, Philadelphia, in a 3-room apartment. Not a 3-bedroom apartment, a 3-room apartment. He had a bedroom, a bathroom, and a kitchen/dining room, living room. Probably about 600 square feet. You walk in his house, and it was stacked floor to ceiling with Macs.
Oh.
The hallway had Macs going from his landing all the way down the stairs. I mean, if you want to talk about a fire trap, that was it. But I mean,
sounds like it.
It's a very, very consuming hobby. And it's very addicting, unfortunately, because once you start, you just can't stop. You know.
Mm-hmm.
But it can be a lot of fun. It really is. But you got to have the money for it, and you got to have the space, especially the space.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Well, how do you deal with Greg? How do you deal with your girlfriend when you bring home another trunk full of Macs? Like, is there friction? Is there, like, as long as you keep it on that side of the house, you're fine? I know she's right there. She can answer if she wants.
Well, that's because he keeps most of his stuff over at Jay's house.
Yeah, it has
Oh
to
yeah,
happen
I
here,
unload
bro.
most of it on Jay, so you know. I'm fine.
But my deal is, as long as it doesn't leave this office or overflow straight into the basement, I can get away with a few things.
Yeah,
But
I need to tidy this place up really, really bad. But as long as I keep it pretty clean and out of her way, she seems to be okay with it, right, dear?
What do you consider pretty clean?
cue Mac Mini flying at your head.
No. Ah.
See, mine on the other hand, she doesn't mind if I collect Macs, and I even have them all throughout the house because half of my house is dedicated to all of her
No,
books.
don't throw that.
Well, see, my wife has
Aim
two.
for the head. Collect the life insurance.
My wife has actually 2 rooms. I only have 1, so
Oh.
therefore, I get what I want in my room. You know.
So what you guys are all saying is it comes down to leverage.
Yes.
Leverage.
Well, not only leverage but compromise.
And,
Yeah.
well, James, I know you're a hoarder. He says, I've been collecting vintage computers and consoles since '98. And, yeah, it's all stored in a certain place, of which I'm not going to say the word. But he's got a huge collection of stuff. Let's see, any other collectors in the chat?
Someone goes, "What do you guys think about the eMac?"
I hate it.
I've never used one.
I have never liked. I've honestly, the idea of it is kind of neat. It's basically an updated iMac G3, but I always thought they were actually pretty darn ugly. They're extremely heavy, and they just take up so much space for the same performance you can get off an iMac G4, which is more compact and easier to move.
The only thing I liked about it is the flat screen. That's really it.
Yeah. And James talking about the 600 XL, that 1200 XL that I got, I actually traded it with the Mac SE FDHD for my G5 and 21-inch cinema display.
Wow. Oh, there was a question.
Dad says, I collect, wife says no more, and I keep it in my room.
So, Daniel, I guess you're done collecting then, right?
Well, you see, I guess I'm the most unique because I have a separate location where I can keep and work on my machines. Unfortunately, it's 30 miles away from my house, but I'm there on a daily basis, so it's not always a bad thing.
So, Alika, as long as you stay out of his office, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's my deal right there. She tells me as long as I don't see it. And sometimes that works.
Like all that stuff in your basement?
You should have seen the house when she was out of town for 3 weeks now.
This is my kitchen, by the way, guys.
Yeah, I know. I've seen your kitchen.
So, no, I'm just showing everybody else. Don't tell me there's not room. There's always room.
Yeah, people always forget. You can go up.
Yes.
That's why I put a rack in, I put a rack there, and a rack next to that. I could always go up.
Yes. Well, it's the same thing with my G5 being on top of my Pro. I had no more space to go out, so I just said, screw it, I'll just go up. And all these machines work, so.
Yeah, the highest I would go is 3. That's the highest I've ever been able to go before they get too unsteady.
No, I wouldn't want to go more than 2, stack 2 of the aluminum cases on top of one another. I'm not real crazy about the 2, but they don't move, and, it's not like they get messed with very much.
I did 3 at most, because that's, yeah, in my old place before I moved in August, I had them stacked 3 high. Suddenly I had Mac Pros and G5.
They're supported a little bit. They'll be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you use, Greg, you use Mac Pros and G5s to build a table out of it to do other videos on, right?
I even made a chair out of them once.
See, there's a
it was very uncomfortable, but it was a nice chair.
Well, hell, you got enough of them to make one, right?
Yeah, it was a good, let's see here, 150, 200 pounds worth of chair there.
Something you're not going to move by yourself, that's for sure.
No.
So in the chat, anybody do anything special to collect anything? Like, what is your main thing that you want to get a hold of? What is your, like,
I'm thinking
unicorn, you know?
I don't really have a unicorn. I've had them all.
Rocky, you've been pretty quiet there,
There's a
man.
bunch of extras I'm looking for.
Been quiet.
I've had most of them. Most of the unicorns I want. I still want a 9600 6-slot and to convert to at least G3 power. Probably a G4. Other than that, I really don't have much more of a unicorn to go.
Yeah, I want the 20th anniversary Mac. That's the unicorn that I want.
I could take it or leave it, honestly.
I want my Quadra 700 back.
Well, since last night when we were talking about it, I want that Apple file server. It just looks badass.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you what, yeah, I have to admit, I wouldn't mind having one of those. That would be a unicorn.
You know, honestly, I'd maybe go with an Xserve 3.1. if you could get it flashed to do 2 6 cores, and if you can get the 1 terabyte limit taken off of it.
Sounds like a project.
Oh, James, you just got a list of unicorns, huh?
Let's see here. David said colored classic. James said so many that were good for you, James.
I would actually, mine I would like to get would be an old Apple II. One of the very first ones. That's the one I actually used in high school.
Well, if we're talking about that, other Mac products, I mean Apple products, yeah. I want a Apple IIe like I used in grade school.
You say I was typing on those for typing class back in middle school, high school.
Yeah, well, that's what we used our Apple II for, was in typing class.
Yeah, our school upgraded in, I think, 98, late 98, 97. In kindergarten, we used 2Es. We still had a few sitting in my second grade class. But in kindergarten, we played old games on it and stuff, and it's a lot of good memories. I'd love to have a nice 84-ish 2E. You know, that would be cool. In fact, I've got one Feliciano from this area. You know, that's been selling all that stuff. Yeah. He offered to give me one, but I'd have to go down and see him sometime. But 2E.
You need more. You need to talk to your wife first there, Jay.
Yeah. I got space in the rack. So.
Wow.
I'm okay.
I don't know. I don't see much space left in that rack.
What?
Garrett says my kindergarten class had a 512K.
Wow.
My kindergarten class had rocks and freaking hammers.
Yeah.
You got somebody watching your videos there, Jay.
Yeah. That's where my one view came from.
I thought the one view came from me.
I thought it came from me.
So I got 3 views? That's awesome.
I thought it came from me. I was usually the first one to watch it.
Oh, yeah, you're the guy that comments all the time, or so he says.
Someone asked, what does Steve Wozniak use these days? I'm thinking he probably uses the latest and greatest Apple products, but I don't know. I saw a thing where he actually uses an iPhone and an Android. He actually has both.
He uses both.
Yeah. So as far as computers now, he probably has a PC and he probably has a Mac. But that's Steve, though. He's one of those guys that he doesn't care. You know, he'll use what works.
I've always liked the idea of having multiple computers to split up my tasks and do stuff. I've just never been able to do it. I got all these computers around me, and I want to use this for that particular task, and I just never. I don't know. I can't do it. Maybe if I manage my files better and synchronize everything over properly, maybe I can do it. But I always go back to a single machine with just a ton of screens, and I like that better.
This is why I have a file server at home.
By the way, I don't think Colin's coming. He says he's not at his house right now.
He's slacking on us.
Yeah.
No, he's creatively avoiding us.
Yeah, he is.
Nah.
Yep.
He's gone shy. It's okay.
Black and white computer. Oh, you're talking about the Garrett? Are you talking about the first Macs?
And Todd is asking, has anyone ever used any Next gear? I haven't.
No.
No, I haven't either. I would be interested in actually using some, but I don't know.
I don't think I've ever. I think I've seen one in a computer museum, but I've never actually seen one in the wild.
Yeah.
I've never even seen one in a museum. I've just seen them on
Did
YouTube. Yep. Those things were tens of thousands of dollars. I mean,
Yeah.
Well, Damien, Woz goes, and I've read articles on this. Woz likes to go to the Apple stores because he likes to mix it up with the customers. He's actually a people person. He likes to actually mingle with people. He's not like Steve Jobs or one of those other guys that never like to, mess with the commoners. Wozniak was really good at that. If you ever read his book, I Was, that is an awesome book to read because it's his biography and it's really good. I don't know if you guys have read it.
Funny. He did a 180 basically because he used to be really shy.
Mm-hmm.
Who did?
Steve Woz.
Steve Wozniak was the quintessential 1970s and 80s geek.
Yep.
Very socially awkward, kind of antisocial, borderline antisocial, but the man was freaking brilliant. I mean, he single-handedly created basically what we got today. I mean,
well, if it wasn't for
I think
him,
we were talking about that with Rocky a while ago. That he created the smallest floppy drive controller board.
He created the Disk 2 controller by hand from memory.
Yeah.
I mean, and the board was like
we lost Jay.
6 inches. It was like 6 inches high by like 8 inches wide. It was the smallest floppy controller of its time.
Well, yeah, because he used the least amount of chips. That's like the Apple One. He basically made that computer out of the least amount of chips possible. And when he
did
did
it for
that,
a cost reason.
Yeah, and when he did that, everyone else looked at that and went, "How in the heck did he do that?" And that's why it sold so well. I mean, what did they have? Only 200 Apple Ones that they sold, I think, is how many they actually manufactured.
No, I think it was around 500.
No, I think it was around 2.
No, it was somewhere around 2, I think.
Yeah, because they sold them to that one particular local store there in California, and it was like a parts store, and you had to build it all yourself, of course, but it worked. I mean,
no, it was 200. Okay, you're right.
Yeah. So, but there's only like about, I think that I want to say 10 or 11 that are actually still working. And that's why they go for like 6 figures if you ever see them come up for auction.
One of the reasons why there's so few now is because Apple basically said that they would continue to support it until they got to this point where they got sick and tired of supporting it. And did we just lose Jay?
It looks like he's coming back, maybe.
But anyway, they got sick and tired of supporting it and writing stuff for it, that they basically sent out an offer of a big discount on an Apple II and stuff if they would send the Apple One to Apple, or Apple just would trash them.
Yeah.
Basically.
That's because they didn't want them using them anymore because they wanted people to
Right.
So there's actually one, I think Woz actually signed it in a museum right now. He actually got to use it, and it's one that he actually put together himself because he wired every one of those. Those 200, he actually touched every one of those when he was making them. You know, a lot of people don't realize that.
They were all hand built.
Yeah.
I mean, there was no assembly line involved at all. So
they were all hand soldered. I mean,
yeah.
Wozniak was basically the solderer. I mean, Steve Jobs, I think, and a couple other guys that started the company were there just plopping chips in because, you know, they came with the little chips and then they would test them and stuff, you know. But Wozniak did pretty much all the soldering on those things. So,
no, I wonder how Woz would solder or desolder an HDMI port.
Probably not the same way Rocky does.
Sorry,
when he's drunk.
And you left him speechless.
Before I forget, we have a question from last week's or the week before that.
Oh, did we?
Let's see, where is it? This is coming from F. Neurup, and he says, "Hi guys, good luck with the next live stream today." That was 2 weeks ago. I won't be able to join, maybe next time. I have another small question for the next live stream. Maybe you guys can answer it. What do you guys think about the need of disabling System Integrity Protection, SIP, in order to run unsupported macOS with DOS-Dude 1's patcher software, for example? As far as I know, and so does DOS-Dude 1, patcher manual instructs disabling SIP is necessary in order to make the patcher work. But I'm wondering how much should we be worried about security? Wow. Okay.
I wouldn't be worried at all, honestly, because before El Capitan, we didn't even have SIP. And as long as you're careful in what you do, really, it doesn't matter either way. Nothing's going to happen, really. If you're going on, like, for instance, websites where you might get something, SIP prevents files from being changed in the system, and having that disabled will allow those files to be changed. But, you know, we went years before on that, before El Capitan, and most people never had an issue. And SIP is just, in my opinion, kind of a pain, and I disable it on all of my Macs. It's not really needed.
Actually, James, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I was looking at James' question here. He said he thinks Steve Jobs designed a wooden case for Apple. I don't think he did.
No.
He didn't do it.
For the Apple ones, all the cases were made by whoever bought them.
Yeah. I think he was watching Pirates of Silicon Valley too much, where they actually showed him, had a wooden one there in the garage. I don't even think they had the wooden ones in the garage because...
No, they basically had them propped up, floating, so they wouldn't ground out, and just used them bare board.
Yeah, I think that was Hollywoodism. But that last question would have been good if Collin was on.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, because Collin could explain it a lot better than me. Man, I wish he was here right now.
I also don't think that disabling SIP is an issue. It's, yes, there is malware that takes advantage of it when it's off, but catching that malware is very hard to do. It's mostly fear-mongering. It is a good security practice to keep it enabled, but if you disable it, you know, if you want to make yourself feel better, run Malwarebytes, run Intego, you know.
That's why
I wouldn't worry about it.
Yeah, it's no big deal.
Brock says Woz for Apple CEO 2019.
No, I don't think Woz wants anything to do with Apple anymore.
Apple, he doesn't want to really be. he's just happy to be a part of history. He doesn't really want to do anything with the new Apple.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys remember or not, but when Apple went public for the first time, remember Steve Jobs didn't give some of the founding members that worked with them in the garage any stock options. And Wozniak actually gave all of those guys some of his stock options.
Yep.
It's in his book, as a matter of fact, if you read his book, but it's in there. But he did not agree with Steve Jobs a lot. In fact, they argued more than you would imagine. They weren't the best of friends. They tolerated each other, but
they needed each other.
Yes. They were like the yin-yang of Apple, pretty much.
Yep, now we have Tim Cook.
Yeah.
Well, we all have just yings. We don't have any yangs.
Yeah. They should call Scott Forstall back. Just toss him in there and see what happens.
I tell you what, I think they threw him under the bus. And
They did.
I hate to say it, but he was doing a lot of good things with iOS at the time, and I think he even told Apple that the Maps app was not going to be good. Yet they rushed it out because guess what? They lost their contract with Google, and Google wasn't going to provide the Maps anymore.
Well, if they had paid a nominal fee, I'm sure Google would have continued making them.
Probably, but I think that's what kind of started the rift between Google and Apple, so.
Yeah.
Do you remember a time where we just had Maps? Like it just came out?
Yeah.
And it was
Yeah.
Let me guess, that's
Actually,
the Google one?
It was quite useless, but I used it a lot.
Well, you couldn't, with the old Google Maps that they had built into iOS at the time, they didn't have turn-by-turn directions. You couldn't do anything with it except, I'm here, Whereas if you went to the Google website at the time, you could get turn-by-turn directions.
Yep.
That was probably the only better thing. Now, to be honest with you, today I don't even use Apple Maps. I use Waze because Waze is way better than Apple Maps.
When the original Google Maps was out, the first turn-by-turn phone to actually have it because it had built-in GPS tracking was, tracking was the 3GS. It had turn-by-turn. Before that, like you said, the 3G and the 2G, they didn't have that because their hardware was just too primitive.
Well, the 2G never had a GPS built in. Remember that?
Oh yeah, they didn't.
Yeah, the 3G was the first one that came with a GPS built in.
They were basically the same phone except for the 3G radio and the GPS.
Yep. Because it had, instead of the Edge network or whatever at the time, because that was AT&T only up until I think the 4, or the 4S actually is when they changed to Verizon, added Verizon onto it.
Yeah.
Wait, Waze is owned by Google?
Not that I know of, unless they
I was going
check.
to try it out, but I'm abandoning that plan now.
I believe it because Google literally has basically the best maps out there now. Yep. They spent so much money doing that.
The reason why, and this is a good example, the reason why I like Waze. For example, the trip we just took to Texas, okay, it basically told us to get off the interstate and take this side road, frontage road. And I'm sitting there like, why is it telling me to do that? The reason why? Because guess what? There was a 3-mile traffic jam on the interstate, and we just flew right past it. Apple Maps is supposed to do that, but it hasn't done that yet. Okay? Waze will sit there and it knows when there's a traffic jam, okay, alternate route, boom, get me there.
Google Maps is supposed to do it too.
Well, it's supposed to, but it doesn't. And people can actually put reports in on the fly, so you can actually put in any type of report you want to put. Like if there's a policeman sitting on the side of the road, put in their police there. If there's a car on the side of the road or a hazard on the road, let's say there's a tire stuck on the road, You just put a point in there, and it puts it in its database and alerts other drivers that are using Waze that, hey, there's something on the road, coming up. And that has actually been very useful, believe it or not, when you go on a long trip.
But you're not taking long trips anymore because you got some streaming to do.
It's still good even when I go to Tucson or something like that, because it does tell you where the cops are, because a lot of people put where the cops are. So if you like to go a little bit over the speed limit, you probably want that.
Yeah, a lot of people seem to be happy with Waze. We got Garrett, Damian, David.
I'd never even heard
David said Waze is
about it
stupid.
until Greg brought it up.
I'm telling you, that's the best app out there right now for travel, if you're going to travel. It's free.
Oh, it's rated 4.8 out of 5 on the Apple App Store, on the iPhone App Store. And by the way, I pulled it up on Wikipedia. They are owned by Google. They bought them in 2013.
Well, guess I'm stuck with Maps for now.
Hey, you're stuck in the Stone Age there then, Jay.
That's fine. I'll take Stone Age and privacy.
All right.
Well, if you don't mind turning off the paved road, I'm sure Apple Maps will get you there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Just
And driving through a few lakes and stuff. I mean,
I don't mind. I can swim.
Problem.
And I now have a waterproof phone, so I'm good.
but do you have a waterproof car?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Since we're basically we're using FaceTime for this, guys. If you haven't noticed it already, that's the reason why the windows float around and stuff. But what we want to try to do, and we've been working on this, is Apple has said that you can have up to 32 people in a FaceTime call at one time. We want to test that and see if Apple's lying or not. So we do have a test group up. I think you said we have, 15 something in there right now, Jay?
I thought so, but I can no longer find the group.
It's probably way down the bottom. Here, I've got it right here. Let me see.
Oh, yeah.
There's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in the group.
Well, there's people that want to join, but they haven't sent the information yet.
Yeah.
Dan, he's in the chat. He forgot to send it. Michael Manna is going to be added to it. I think the guy that's supposed to be here right now.
Yeah, I think Colin's
Colin's supposed to be in there.
I think
you gotta be kidding me.
No, Colin's not in there yet because I don't see it.
Yeah, there's a lot of people we still need to add, but
Well, I don't know if I ever actually asked Colin.
Well, Jay, you're in there twice, so what is up with that?
Why am I in there twice?
I only
I'm not
see him in there once.
I see him in there twice.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Technically 8 if you count yourself.
That's true. 8, yeah. But I see Jay in there twice.
I'm only there once.
You're in there once with your email and once with your phone number.
I'd take my phone number out of there, Jay.
Your phone number is not in there.
Yours is in. You want me to take a screenshot of this and show you?
Sure.
All right, hold on.
Anyway, what we're getting at, guys, is if you want to be part of history and be part of this 32-bit, why did I say 32-bit? 32-person stream live on, what is it, Mac Yak? We're going to do it on there?
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
If you want to be part of history and actually be the first ones to do a 32-bit group FaceTime on live stream, come and join us.
Yeah, because we definitely want to push this to the max and see.
Let's get started.
Now.
Start safely. Turn left on Cameron Street.
What?
Right.
Mike.
One of the things we want to make sure that you understand is you have to have at least an iPhone 7, I think, or 6S and above for iOS device. You have to have a Mac that's capable of running Mojave in order to do the group FaceTime.
AKA
Now-
any Mac that you can run Mojave on, even unsupported, will
Yes.
do it. I know
Yeah,
for a
I
fact.
also put a link in the chat to
Now,
the website where it lists
one
all
of the
this.
other things is if you're on an iOS 6 device, you can do it, but you're going to be in voice only.
He means iPhone 6.
Yeah, iOS. Well, you know what I mean.
No, actually, 5S also.
Will it?
The 6, no, the 5S will do voice only, as well as the iPod 6.
Yep.
The iPhone 6
Would do
should
voice
do
only.
video.
But
No,
it doesn't.
James Tillman has a 6.
And it won't do video.
We know.
Okay. Oh, and it won't do video?
Yeah, we already
Okay.
tested that.
I never tried, so I wasn't sure. I know, obviously, the 6S works because that's what me and Rocky both use, so.
Yeah, Rocky sent James a 6. Good job, Rocky.
Yeah.
That,
False
in
advertising
fact, that's a
as
good
well.
question, Aliki. Is basically, yeah, you can kick you could kick somebody out, I think.
No. Dude,
No.
If I want to get rid of you right now, and believe me, I've tried, I can't.
Yeah.
You tried to kick me out.
Well,
you
you
did that.
started this call, so I don't even think I have any power to do that stuff.
So
But
basically, the only thing about doing this and joining us is you have to be trustworthy.
Yes.
We don't want any goobers in the stream doing any obscene things.
yeah. But I'm mostly curious. Like, I'm doing this on an iPhone. I'm pretty sure it's a different story on a 27-inch iMac or even an iPad Pro. But where is it going to put all those icons? Is it going to start stacking them? If we all talk at the same time, is it going to freak the F out? That's what I want to see.
I want to know because, I mean, me and Rocky both had the 6S. Well, so does Greg. So
Right.
there's at least 3 of us on a regular basis that use a 6S. So I'm kind of interested to know how this is all going to work. Now, they both have regular 6S's and I have a Plus. So I have a little more screen real estate, but not much.
Mine's
Okay. Okay,
What's
Jay,
that?
I just removed you from the other group.
Oh.
So apparently you can remove while we're not talking.
Asshole.
Well, this is what's a PG-13.
Jay sent you a okay. Never mind.
They say worse in kindergarten. I'm cool.
It can't be no worse than that. So
I think that if you use a 6S or even a 7, you're going to lose about 10% battery every 20 seconds, I think.
Yeah.
The phone gets very, very hot very, very fast.
And the battery goes away very, very fast. I've noticed that with the group FaceTime on my phone really sucks the battery down. It's not so bad on my iPad, though.
Yeah, this thing has a brand new battery in it that was just replaced like 2 months ago. And it will drain it in like a blink of an eye.
Yeah. I think actually this might not be so much a FaceTime challenge as a whose phone is going to explode first challenge.
Yeah. I like this. The Macs will hiccup. The iPhones will explode.
well,
Yeah,
I
pretty
mean,
much.
to be honest with you, I could put 1, 2, 3, 4 devices on that chat at one time. So that's 4. Pretty sure, Jay, you've got 3 or 4, right?
Yeah.
So that's about 8. Rocky, you probably got a couple you could put on. Just one?
Yeah, but the thing is, we need every connection to be an actual person.
true.
I understand that. But if we need to fudge it a little bit and see if we could get all the connections in there.
Yeah, we could do that because
Well, not everybody would have to be talking. Just to have 32 streams, period, would be, I mean, unheard
And that's
of.
why I was thinking if we can come close to the 30 and then just fill it up with multiples of us.
Even if we have people who are just on voice, I mean, that's going to eat up, bandwidth and screen
But
real
if I
estate anyway.
use several Macs and iOS devices, I'm only going to be active on one. All the other ones are going to be muted. So they're never going to try to jump in the screen like an active connection would.
true. but it's still pulling bandwidth because it has to keep connected.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, bandwidth is only an issue if you have Rocky's internet, though.
Or mine.
No, Rocky's is worse than yours. We saw that.
Yeah,
Oh,
mine.
2.8, what is it? 2.8 megabit per second download?
oh my God, Rocky.
It still baffles me that you're on a call with us right now. Yeah, it's bad.
That's why he's
Oh
been
my
quiet.
God.
He's been trying to conserve that bandwidth.
Every word is an extra 10 kilobytes.
So anyway, did we give the details about how they can actually join us?
Yes, I put the link in the chat a few times.
Okay, cool.
I'll put that link in the description as well.
Oh, Brock is on 1.5 gigabits. I think we need to enlist him to start doing the streams for us.
Damn you, Brock.
I agree.
Must be nice.
Yeah, James, I have Motel 6 connection.
Yeah. Well, Brock, you got
He
1.5
literally does,
gigabit
though.
fiber. Is that down? or up as
Diabetes.
Fiber is usually both.
well? Damn. I'm
Yeah.
jealous. Let's see. I'm just checking the chat, see if I missed anything here.
Well, James, we don't want to see you anyways, voice only. So, yeah.
I think we should include people even if they are voice only.
Yeah.
Yeah, if
Oh,
they're
yeah,
voice
definitely.
only, they can come in. But if you want to be one of the cool people with video, I mean,
Because if we do a mix of video and voice only, then I got 3 devices here.
Wow, 175 a month for gigabit. No wonder why it's so fast.
oh, I could get gigabit here for 50 or 55 if I lock the IP. I just never have done it. We should.
So, guys, do we want to commit to giving this a shot next week? Just dial in everybody we got in the group,
Internet.
see what's what?
We could try it, and then
I figure if we got more than 10, I think we're doing pretty good.
We could
Yeah.
even do that maybe as a Friday special or something. Maybe we designate a different day, Friday, Saturday, or Sunday before we do our UT matches.
We could do that. Who's
I
going to
don't
send?
have a schedule for that, but
Is someone going to send Greg the fire extinguisher before or after it catches on fire?
No, I want to see it burn, man.
who?
Well, you can't see it burn if it's streaming.
Yeah, he's
well,
gonna
he
turn
will.
his
He'll know it's
MacBook
burning
on,
if the
so-
stream just goes deet.
We just have to put a mirror up right before it cuts out.
Well, the thing is with me, the system I'm on right now will be going to Collin Mistr probably tomorrow if I get around to actually putting it in a box. So I'll be down a system. I'll only have like this in my iPhone.
Excuse me.
So you're going to be sending a package out tomorrow to Collin. Are there any other packages that are going out tomorrow?
Yeah, like maybe one to Pennsylvania,
Yeah, there's one going to Pennsylvania. There
so
might
that I
be one-
can. So my computer's actually vaguely usable.
Yeah, I need to ship one out to Australia too, but it's a giant package.
Wow.
So what about one from Jay?
Yeah,
That
when
stuff
am I
would be
getting
too
my
expensive
parts?
to ship.
Oh, yeah.
Hey,
Listen,
Greg.
I put
What?
the box together.
This is what I have to deal with.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah, because he's using the 7300 GT.
I'll tell you what, I do like this thing.
Nice
I
keyboard.
mean, keyboard. Oh crap! It is a nice keyboard. I actually like those keyboards. Nobody else does. I like them.
I do too. I have two hooked up to my Mac Pro.
Yeah,
One
I
of
got
them's
a
an
box
editing
full of them.
keyboard.
Yeah, I'm supposed to have 2 of those, I think.
You're supposed to have.
Put you, no, dude. I
I'm
put
supposed
your
to have a
box together,
wireless one.
but it was $65 to ship it. Crazy.
Yeah, but
I have.
You're
I
doing
have
something
a
wrong with the
wireless one.
shipping. It shouldn't cost that much to ship 2 keyboards.
Well, the box was about the size of my office. It's the only box I had left. But
Oh, jeez.
somebody said that USPS doesn't care about size; it's all about weight. Well, that's wrong.
well, once you get a box that
No.
changes everything.
Use their flat rate boxes.
Yeah, that's why I recommended them. The large.
Yeah.
But I don't think they make a flat rate box that's big enough for those keyboards, though.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, dude. Large flat rate box should be just fine.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's the game board box. I have a bunch.
Jay, when you sending out the MacBook Pro?
Tomorrow. I'm dropping it off at USPS.
Sweet.
Wait, he gets his before I get my keyboards? What?
I already have a box for his.
Just kidding, Jay. Just
I
kidding.
tried to cut the box open and peel it so I could put that Zippo in there, but it didn't work out. So.
Sorry about it.
Let's see.
Well, guys, do we have anything else for tonight, or are we running out of stuff to talk about? We've been going about an hour and 40 minutes, so.
I do have
Oh,
one
yeah.
topic that we haven't addressed,
What's that?
but I don't know how we're going to address it because I never came up with the rules for it.
What topic
Make
is
it
that?
up as you go.
The Power PC Challenge, guys.
Yeah.
I already told you I can't do that.
Well, that's the thing. I don't know how I would come up with the rules. Basically,
Because we won't be able to stream next week because I have to use an Intel.
Well, just because you can't do it doesn't mean the challenge cannot be out there for others.
yeah, and you could still join in and just do.
I can do
the way
probably.
that's the reason why I needed to make up the rules.
I can do probably 60, maybe 70% of it on the Power PC. The other 30% has
That's
to
the
be.
only-
Huh?
Yeah, that would be fine as
Yeah.
long as you're doing like, for instance, that would be the fun part. Doing Facebook on a Power PC.
Oh,
No.
I do.
I'd rather do Spreely than Facebook.
yeah. I'd rather do Spreely too because it's a lot less. I mean,
I'd rather give up Facebook for a week, but then again, I got my iPad, so I don't care.
Well, I know for a fact that I could do basically everything except my schoolwork because I need a Windows computer for that. Yeah, and editing videos and stuff because I could try that, but I'm not going to. But besides that, I can literally run my Power PCs and survive off of them. It's a nice case, GT.
thank you.
Why are you taking my picture, man? Surveillance state. Cut it out.
It's like you're going to be on YouTube anyways.
But
Which guess
That's
who?
different.
Guess who owns YouTube?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah. They don't know anything about me.
Well, wait until you enable ads.
Oh, that'll never happen. That's why I got a Patreon.
But anyway, so basically with the Power PC Challenge, at the end of this video, I'm probably going to do it. I don't know. Because we didn't really think this part through.
Starting tonight? Hell no.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know.
We might have to wait another week or something because it's supposed to be the first week of January, but we could push it back.
Yeah, we need to come up with the ground rules is what we need to do.
Yeah. The
And
original
anybody
Power
out there that
PC
wants to participate too, you know, maybe we'll come up with the rules. Next Mac Yak, we'll put out the rules and start it after the end of the next Mac Yak. How's that sound?
Why
And I'll
don't we
film
do
a video on the rules and stuff.
Well, you do
why
that.
don't we also do a poll on the Mac Yak Facebook group? People can vote and chime in, see what's important.
We should probably put that on Lim too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and on PPC Gaming Lounge.
Yeah, let's just flood all the groups.
We could just share the poll from the groups page.
That's
I
true.
mean,
8K challenge. I like that one.
The what?
oh Lord,
8K challenge.
I don't even own one of those.
Hey,
Well, if
I have a valid question here. So now, if we do the Power PC Challenge, okay, that means we're not allowed to use an Intel Mac, right?
Right.
Or
Right.
anything Intel related.
Has to be Power PC.
Yeah. Unless
Okay.
it's mission critical, like for work or for instance.
Okay, well, I have an AMD based PC, so I'm good.
no.
No.
It
You
has
said
to.
Intel.
No,
You said
we
Intel.
said it has to
I
be
don't own an
Power
Intel
PC. AMD is not Power PC.
If it's mission critical, you could use an Intel Mac or a PC. If it's
well,
If you do
critical.
want to use an Intel, it has to be an 8-core Excerpt.
There we go.
Nah.
how about a 4-core Dell?
Let's see. Donald is saying I could use my 2.5 gigahertz 4-core Power Mac G5.
Your wife is saying pushing it back would be great. I have guests from out of town, so you have guests next week.
They're not using my computer. What do they care?
Oh, she may want to join in too. She could add a Photoshop.
It doesn't have a Power
a
PC.
G5.
I used to edit photos on a Power Mac 8500.
Yeah.
You can do whatever she does now on any Power PC.
I tell you
I
what.
do a lot of my photoshopping on CS4 on my G5 because CS5 is not working very well.
Yeah, she's been using the Adobe and Quark products since inception, so she can switch back to a G4 and still do all her stuff. It's not going to be as fast, but
Well, I'll tell you one
she knows
thing.
how to do it.
I'm going to be busy on Macintosh Garden before that happens.
Yeah, right?
Well, luckily for me, my G5 and my PowerBook G4 are already pretty well set up, so I'm good.
So I think what we're going to do with the Power PC challenge is postpone it like 2 weeks. Next week we'll announce all the rules and stuff because we never came up with them. And then the next week we'll...
Stop saying we, man. This is on you.
You guys need to join me.
Well, we're joining you, but it's your baby.
Yeah.
Well,
We're like the grandparents. We'll take the baby for a little bit and then we just give it back to you. You know?
Yeah, it's annoying. Here. Jake did a Blender project on an iMac G3. That must have taken a while.
Now, did you see he did my only Blender project? That's probably why he only did one.
It burned out.
It probably caught on fire like your G4 processors do, Jay.
All right, Brock, we'll see you later. I don't know if you're gone yet or not, but...
Yeah, see you, Brock.
See you, Brock. And I don't really have anything else to talk about. I think we covered everything pretty well.
I think we have, too, tonight. I mean, we've covered all our topics that we're going to discuss tonight. If anybody in the chat has any questions for us, now's the time to ask.
Yep.
And we also apologize that Collin didn't make it. He also apologized.
No, Greg apologizes.
Yeah, but he just wasn't at home in time to do it. So, yeah.
Sure.
Let's see. I got the Facebook message from Dan to be added to the FaceTime test group. I got an email from Brock with the same. That's plus
Cool.
2 people right there.
Oui.
Well, I can't add him because Greg removed me from the group.
Oh, I can add you back.
Hey, really?
Hold on.
Oh, my Lord.
Man, I just made you look bad.
Yes, you did. All right, you're in.
Sweet.
Wait a minute, GT. That's not Jay's email, is it?
No, I don't think it is. I don't know why those two show up with other pictures on there. It must be a Mac thing.
That must be why you
I saw Jay twice on there.
Man, you trip.
All right, guys, if we got no, let's see. Oh, wait, here we go. Someone asked a question to you there, Greg. How do you install Mac OS X on your Wall Street 2?
I explained it in the video. What I used was I forget what they call it. What do they call it?
Facto?
Ex post facto. Yeah. Ex post facto from OWC. They had this program. I explained it a lot better in the video, and I'm getting a little scatterbrained now. But ex post facto, the way that old world ROM Macs worked, they used a ROM file in the system, startup folders and stuff to boot up, and ex post facto basically modifies it and allows it to boot up in Tiger. It's complicated. You really need to watch the video for the explanation. But it works. It works fairly decently, especially after you disable animations and stuff on it. So that's how I did it. I'm going to be doing that to my G3 Beige eventually too. I've been having issues with it though.
No, Daniel, that is the reason why we have the others that are going to be in here. So once we start at FaceTime chat and it's already going like this, we can't add anybody. So we have to have everybody added before we start.
Yep.
Yeah.
We're becoming
Which
experts.
I think it's kind of a dumb thing if you ask me. They should let you add people.
Well, if I swipe up now, it says add person, but it won't actually let me do it.
So it's a bug.
Want me to try it?
Try it.
Who are we adding? Dan?
Add
Are we
Dan.
adding you?
Yeah, add Dan. I'm sure
All right.
Dan would be excited to say hi.
He's like, no, I don't want to be on live.
Too bad. You're going to be, if this works.
If it works.
If this works.
Let's see.
Make sure that they accidentally showing anything there, Greg.
No, it won't show anything because as long as I don't show anything outside of this. In fact, because the way I'm doing it now, there's nothing behind the screen. So I could actually minimize the screen and you won't see anything. See?
Yeah, what we're talking about is we had a little accident.
Oh!
It works.
It works!
What?
We got Dan
It
live.
works, but I don't see him. Where is he?
He's down the bottom. No, it won't show anything. As long as I don't
Hey.
Hey, Dan.
Hey.
Oh, hey, Dan.
How far behind is the stream?
Hey, he's got Jay's poster.
Yeah, I was just like, are you behind me? What the hell?
How far behind is the stream?
it's probably about 30
stream should be-
seconds.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We're streaming 1080p, so it takes a little bit of time to compress and do all the other stuff. So
Hold on, I'm going to try something.
Must have fixed that bug in one of the.
they
updates.
must have.
They must have, yeah. Cool.
Now you can see the windows floating around, and
Yeah, and that's, yeah. Group FaceTime.
and that's the weird thing is because I'm showing this on a 21.5-inch iMac, I should be able to put you guys in little squares and keep you there. The problem is it won't let me do that.
Maybe that's a
Apple
Easter
just
egg
did that
that's
for the
unlocked once
simplicity
we
of
go
code.
over 30.
Yeah.
That's why we need to try it.
This is cool.
Mm-hmm.
It's also dumb that you can't use an Android. Why would you want to use an Android there, James?
You just can't please that guy. He's got a brand new old iPhone.
A brand new old iPhone.
Add James in, Jay.
I tried. I don't have him saved. Can you do it? You can.
What do you
You,
mean
can
you
do
don't
it.
have him saved?
You do it. Swipe up, add person. Do your thing.
I don't even know if
Oh, so you're gonna give me crap for not having it
I don't
saved?
know if I have him in my contact.
Ah, see, look at that. He's got an
Forget about
iPhone
that.
8 or 7, or not 7, but a
I'm gonna
X.
pull up my favorite. Yeah. I keep forgetting I can do this.
Good.
Oh, this is good. Hide my face.
That's too late. It's already out there.
On there for 5 minutes.
All right, I ring James.
All right.
Is he in the?
I
thing?
see somebody down there. I see another M. Oh, Mike's in there twice. Now he's gonna turn off one of your audios.
Echo.
That's what happens when the same person gets on two different ones.
Hey, James.
I ain't even muted it.
I just want to go one stream without having to shout, Mike!
Why? It's more interesting that way.
Listen, you make everyone deaf that's watching.
Sorry about that. They just added me to the dang FaceTime thing on YouTube.
What?
What?
Oh. We woke my roommate up.
Oops.
You woke him up.
Sorry.
Yeah, we didn't wake up. Don't get that French we in there.
Who's taking a picture of a G5 here? It's a nice G5. Hey, Mike?
No, it's not Mike.
No.
That's Dan. That's Dan.
It's nice, Dan. It's a nice G5.
I just set the chip there.
See, Greg? That's a beard, girl.
Well, see, Greg's still growing the peach fuzz out, you know.
Mike.
Mike.
What?
Crumpling.
What? I didn't do anything.
I think it's Mike. I think that.
No, I think that's James.
Might be James.
I'm simply sitting here reading my email. You guys are yelling at me like I did something wrong.
Oh, yeah, you're so innocent.
All right, guys.
Anyway,
we want to wrap this up, and
yeah,
because we're at almost the 2-hour mark now. So, all right, guys. Appreciate the views tonight, and as always, we'll be back next week. Same bat time, same bat channel, or should I say Mac time, Mac channel?
Yeah, that's yeah.
Yeah.
It makes more sense.
Exactly. So, if you like this video, go ahead and hit that like button, comment, and subscribe. That way we get us up there past the 100. We want to try to get past the 100 here soon. We're at 91 is the last time I checked, so hopefully we're getting close to that 100. Also, we'll be putting all the links that we had tonight in the description, and also to our individual channels are also in the description. So we thank you guys a lot, and we'll see you guys next week.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining.
Hey, guys.